So this is one of the more interesting, I think, news reports and news topics revolving around the MCU that I have seen for quite a while. For those of you who haven't really been focusing on Marvel movies for a bit, you might not know that there happens to be a big blockbuster by the name of Deadpool and Wolverine coming out in July, which looks absolutely fantastic. Again, I think going to the theaters actually to see it with my mum. I'm so excited to see this movie, but one question that a lot of people have already gotten while this movie hasn't even come out yet, and people may be getting a bit ahead of themselves, but it hasn't stopped the rumors and news from coming out, that the big question is, what is the future of Deadpool going to be like? You know, we worked really hard to get this Deadpool and Wolverine movie into the MCU and being an R-rated film and all that type of stuff, right? What is the potential future going to be like for Deadpool? Because after this movie, we really don't know. Again, we know he's probably going to be in the Avengers ones, but a lot of rumors and conspiracies have come out with Sean Levy, the director of this new Deadpool one, even going as far to comment on this a couple times, being reported that Sean Levy isn't sure if he'll actually direct Deadpool 4, which is reported by Deadline. Usually, I have to lie. I'm waiting for the questions when I have to lie and pretend I don't know the answer. But this one I can sincerely say, I don't know. So you've got the director of the movie literally already talking about a potential sequel. The funny thing is as well is, I legitimately believe after this one, I still think we're going to get another trilogy or so of Deadpool movies. I still think there is so much story still to fucking talk about with this character and show us in film, obviously. Again, the reality is with the X-Men now coming into the MCU, Deadpool coming into the MCU, him meeting all these other characters and all this type of stuff, there is a ton more they can explore. And there is another report going on here that says Sean Levy actually wants to make a Deadpool and Spider-Man movie. Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy says he wants to make a Deadpool and Spider-Man film for the MCU. I feel like Tom Holland would run circles around everyone else. Now, as you guys who have been watching the channel for a while would know, I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. In fact, Spider-Man and obviously Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader are my favorite fictional characters of all time, along with the Batman being like very, very close to those two characters as well. The reality is, Spider-Man is a fantastic character, and one major thing we really haven't fully seen, I think, to do with the Spider-Man character is the amount of comedy and dad jokes that get portrayed in the comics. Again, the real big close one we obviously saw was the Spider-Man video game, where the whole game he's basically telling jokes, same as in the sequel, right? In my opinion, other than Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, that's the perfect Spider-Man that we've gotten so far, and I absolutely love it. Obviously, my favorite alongside Tobey Maguire. The thing is, we've seen some comedy with Andrew Garfield's one. There wasn't as much with Tobey, obviously, and there was some slight comedy with Tom Holland. The thing is, Tom Holland's got relatively underrated comedic timing and a comedic purpose. I think if you were to have Deadpool go along with Tom Holland, there could be a really funny and interesting story. The weird thing is, though, is there is a lot of Spider-Man stories to still tell in the MCU that I think are way more important than having him be with Deadpool so far, right? The reality is we are going to be getting a Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6. We know that's going to be happening unless something really weird was to happen. We know number 4 is supposed to have Kingpin as the villain, and he's supposed to hire, again, Scorpion and the Shocker and potentially a couple others to take out Spider-Man, right? I talked about this in a previous video, but Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin are supposed to be getting their own MCU character. Again, I think that video, I don't know if it will be out by the time this one. We'll have to wait and see. But the reality is, there are so many awesome stories that we can have with Spider-Man. We still haven't had a Kraven the Hunter story yet. I don't necessarily know if we need that. We just got it in the game, though. Some stories that I would really like to see that have gone underrated and under the radar. A chameleon story of a shapeshifter who can be multiple different Spider-Man villains and multiple different characters would be really awesome. We'd get to see more of that detective side of Spider-Man that we're yet to see in really any of the movies. Again, there was a detective side in the game, obviously. That would be really cool if we got to see, like, Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, mature up and be like how the Spider-Man is in the game and start to use his head majorly to figure out, you know, crimes and be like a detective and hunt down Chameleon and all this type of stuff. They could very much take inspiration from the Batman movie, actually, where in reality that's kind of a detective case as well with the Riddler. Again, I would love a Deadpool and Spider-Man movie. I just think there are so many really great Spider-Man things that we should probably get before it. Again, I would prefer a Venom storyline. I'd prefer a Chameleon storyline. Two main things. Black Cat would be awesome. All these different things. I feel like if you're gonna do a Deadpool and Spider-Man movie, that's gonna be such a big project. And I don't know how much time they're fully gonna have towards that. There is a reality though, if they don't figure out a big, I think, plot for Deadpool 4, which I think they will. I think they will easily figure out one that especially has him tying over with the MCU now and all this type of stuff. I think they could resort to that. But in reality, it would cost you a ton to get that Tom Holland signature. I already think it's going to cost them at least probably 30 million plus each movie to get Tom Holland assigned for the 3 movies, 3 Spider-Man movies, and of course the 2 Avengers movies. If you were to sign him for the 3 Spider-Man movies, the 2 Avengers movies, and a Deadpool movie, oh my god, that is like probably 200 plus in guaranteed cash for this actor over 6 movies. You would easily make that back. Don't get me wrong. Over those 6 movies, you would probably make over 3 billion easily. Probably over 4 billion easily. But yeah, it's a lot of money for one actor. And that's not even talking about how much you're going to have to pay Ryan Reynolds, obviously, and all this other type of stuff. Again, what would the movie be called? I'm not too sure. I don't think you can call it Deadpool and Spider-Man. We've already got Deadpool and Wolverine. To me, that would just be running out of ideas if you were to title it Deadpool and Spider-Man. You could go for something kind of funny like Spider-Pool, which, even though it, again, doesn't sound like the greatest title, again, this is a Deadpool movie where things are supposed to be kind of semi-cringe and semi-funny and semi-just taking the piss out of itself. So kind of having a movie like, you know, Spider-Pool would seem so cringe and so taking the piss out of itself normally that it could actually work for a Deadpool film. I don't know what they'd actually call it. But yeah, the thing is, I don't think this would truly be a Spider-Man movie. More so, it would be a Deadpool movie that would have Spider-Man in it. And having Tom Holland is supposed to be the second main character, paying that guy like 30 to 50 million to probably do it, is a lot of money. But if you can get Tom Holland on screen for like 25 to 30 minutes, with Ryan Reynolds, like, obviously 60 plus minutes, right? You're still going to make a fuck ton of money. And that's just the reality of things. There are comic books they can take inspiration on of a potential team up. There's been rumors for so long as well that somehow Spider-Man is going to have a semi-appearance, maybe in an end credit scene in Fantastic Four. I don't think that's true. That might get resorted more for a sequel, but that's also more money for Tom Holland that Marvel would have to think about. It's just, the reality is Tom Holland Spider-Man is the most in-demand character right now, probably in the whole entire world. The whole entire MCU's future is going to be revolved around him. Of course, it's going to be revolved around Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool as well. Probably Pedro Pascal's Fantastic Four's Reed Richards. But Tom Holland is the main one out of, like, the big 3. And it's funny to say in 2024 that Deadpool is, like, a big 3 of Marvel. Because if you told them that when they made the first Deadpool movie, they would have never believed you. But here we are, and it's fucking awesome. So there's a lot of really interesting things to, of course, go over with this. I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on this all down below. What do you guys think about a potential Deadpool and Spider-Man movie? Will that be Deadpool 4, or will that be a Deadpool film much more in the future? How many more films do you think Ryan Reynolds is going to make of this Deadpool movies? Because I think a lot more. I think he loves the character, and Marvel know Deadpool and Wolverine's probably going to make over $1 billion. So don't be surprised if a ton more is coming out. I'd very much like to hear all your thoughts and opinions down below. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.